I I have, popular people following me on Twitter now, so
Cool.
ship's coming right in. Uh,
All right. That's the way to be, man.
that's the way to be. I'm telling you, this new Twitter follower, she's way out of my league. And we're gonna talk all about that because that's so exciting. It's so exciting when you get followed on Twitter by someone that's so out of your league, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. But we got to open the show first. It's time again for another fun-filled edition of Time Out with Gators and Brian and our studio audience. And I think Venison too, but it would help if I signed into Skype. That would give Venison a way to actually call. That would
Would
also
be a
give
good
away.
idea. Yeah.
It gives a way for you to call in too, because we're going to bring up Skype, which is NHB Live. But first, I got to sign out of my Skype account, and
And that would be audio Skype
that
because
would be
we don't care about how you look or
yeah.
whatever.
Now Dune, he'll take your video stream and he'll throw that right on the screen because
Right on. Hey, Dune. Oh, he's not here yet.
he's got the fancy software that does that and makes the wheels in the bus go round and round.
Right on.
But
Right on.
right
Cool
on.
stuff.
Cool stuff. Cool stuff. So yeah, another week has gone by, and we were talking about the Fortress of Solitude, which we were talking about multiple people at the Fortress of Solitude. But I guess your tweet, which has the picture of the museum,
Yes.
which you've now deemed the Fortress of Solitude. It's the Fortress of Abandon is what it's gonna be, because once Dale, Marianne, and Nick are gone, it's only Mai Fong, and she's so busy she's probably barely at her desk or anywhere near that area.
In fact, I wonder if she spends time at she's supporting, I think, 3 sites. So she's not even in the building. She's at another building.
Right. I mean, that's one of the sites she supports, and it's probably the largest site she supports. But what else is? Well, she supports what? Sparks, but that's quite a ways. She has to visit there periodically, and she
Sparks was Nevada.
right.
Is it Sacramento? Is the other one?
I don't. You know what? I was going to ask you because I don't remember. I thought I
Okay, I
know
don't
she.
remember.
To me, it was she was supporting San Lorenzo, Fairfield, and Sparks, but I think
What?
Fairfield's gone.
Fairfield is closed.
Yeah, well, this is going.
I think the other site is at Hanford.
I don't know. I'm going back to when I still worked there, and Fairfield was still
Yeah,
around when I worked there.
right. But
So,
that's closed now.
oh, I know it's closed, so I know
Right.
that one's gone. So I know that's not one of the three. But people didn't tune in to
Right.
hear us talk about the Fortress of Solitude and what Mai Fong is up to these
Right.
days. And yeah, which reminds me, we were talking about, well, not Mai Fong yesterday, but we were talking about Dune. And as you know, Dune once well, no, actually, I don't think it's ever been confirmed it was Dune. But on my one of my last shows in California, when it was like, yeah, I don't work for that company anymore, so I'll just tell you all the names. MP stands for My Fog, and we all know Brian and Neil, his Nick, and Dale and Marianne. That's and they work for Tharco, and I don't care anymore. And then someone called in impersonating My Fog, and
Oh.
and I'm not saying that Dune called and put shift on his voice and imitated his next door neighbor, but you might want to look into that. And so yesterday that explains yesterday's tweet of he's not racist. He just likes to make silly voices. Because
Oh,
we were
that's what that
talking
was
about
about.
because Dune was making a different voice that I don't think was quite as bad, but
That was
then
that on the Dune and Bob show.
yeah, the Dune and Bob show yesterday,
Gotcha.
and so he made something type of comment like that might be racist, and I didn't come to his defense and say no it isn't. I just was like yeah. It's like, oh great, yeah, just agree with me. That's fine. So I'm like, no, you're not racist. You just like to make funny voices. Yeah.
That's right.
So he liked that line. He had to stop and write that one down. So I had to tweet it.
Yep.
Now, Addy, on the
So
other
you
hand,
didn't even get a timeout on that, did you?
no, he was laughing too hard.
Yeah,
I,
that's right. That's great.
now, if I talked about Trump being a racist, that might get us a timeout.
Yeah, probably.
Which, for the record, he is. But that's not what we're here to talk
Well,
about.
allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly, have you looked at his policies and procedures? Let's round up a bunch of people that have grown up in this country all their lives and send them back to a country they never lived in. Let's block an entire religion from coming into this country.
Right.
No, there's no racism here. That's
I like the one about the woman that was deported to Guatemala that never learned Spanish.
Did they at least buy her an English to Spanish dictionary?
Oh, that's not going to help.
No, but
hopefully you'll be in a big city where a lot of people speak English because she's not going to have a clue.
Yeah. Anyways, we're here to speak of more uplifting topics.
Yes,
that will
uplifting. Otherwise, we'll get a timeout.
Yeah, we'll get a timeout, and then I'll see the viewer count go down from 2 to 1.
Right. Hello, one viewer.
Hello, one viewer. Hopefully, Dude will join us back soon. Oh. No, but anyways, speaking of Twitter, I received a notification on Twitter recently that there was well, actually, let's open up the show with the latest thing that's on Twitter. Brian, you found something great on Twitter about the HomePod, and this may help you decide whether or not the HomePod is for you, because to some people this is a bug, to other people this is a feature. So it depends on your musical tastes whether this is a selling point or if this is a point against it. So here's the HomePod in action. Here we go.
Play the band Hall & Oates.
I can't find anything by Hall & Hits.
Hey Siri, play the band Hall & Oates.
I can't find anything by Heartland Hits.
Hey Siri, play the band Hall & Oates.
Okay, here's Have Nots.
What? Hey Siri, play the band Hall & Oates.
And
I can't find anything by Heartland Hits.
Hey Siri, play the band Hall & Oates.
All right, let's hear Have Nots.
Play the band Hall & Oates.
That's 3 different things. Oh, Skype is up. I don't know why Venison is giving me an ahem Skype, because Skype is up. But you know what? We can call him.
right.
So yeah.
Now,
If you
now
like-
the guy's problem was he was saying play the band, blah 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 blah, right?
But it kept
No,
on interpreting.
just play Hall & Oates.
But it
Alexa, play Hall & Oates.
Shuffling songs by Hall & Oates.
Okay, so yours works.
Alexa, stop. Hey Google, play Hall & Oates.
Sure, check out this Hall & Oates radio mix on Google Play Music.
Never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips.
Hey Google,
Shut up.
stop.
Sounds like fake news to me.
I don't know. The video looked well. He kept on saying play the band Hall & Oates, and it was ignoring the words the band and making other approximations of Hall & Oates. You know, Heartland Hits, which I'm not familiar with Heartland
How
Hits.
the hell did that come up? Yeah.
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 How did
It
they
was
call?
funny.
Yeah,
it was
no,
funny.
it was funny. But recently I noticed I had a new follower on the Twitters, and I saw, hey, Holly Brockwell is now following you on Twitter, and I'm like, Holly Brockwell, who's that? And, so of course I'm going to click on that and check it out. And, easy on the eyes. Wannabe robot, founder at Gadget, tech writer at Tech Radar, Guardian, Gizmodo, etc. Crazy Cat and Bird Lady, which is hard. Woman of the Year 2015. And on top of all that, British. It's like,
hits all the boxes.
hey, you've got my attention. I am Googling you. Why is she following me?
He's not a stalker. He's Googling you.
No. I'm not talking about the easy on the eyes. I mean, she's an impressive, intelligent, classy lady here. She is way out of my league in every way.
She's not. It's not like, I mean, I get followed by a porn star all the time. And, well, of course, I ignore it because that's not what I'm interested in.
Yeah, I noticed that this was a woman who was wearing clothes.
Because I would get a timeout, right?
Usually it's women that aren't wearing clothes that grab your attention. But when it comes to Twitter, it's when you get followed by a woman who actually is wearing clothes that it gets your attention. Because the women that aren't wearing clothes follow you on Twitter all the time. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's nice. Whatever. Yeah,
you figure the next tweet will be, so do you want to hook up and get a blowjob
for the low price of $49.95?
Right. We could discuss the price offline, right?
I'm like, no, this is a lady with class. This is
nice. Now, did you retweet something that she had tweeted?
I had never heard of her before.
I mean, I get followed by people, and I realize, oh, I retweeted that person from something from years ago.
I looked
because it was interesting.
I looked, and no, I hadn't retweeted her. And I've been spending the past 2 weeks bitching about Acronis with lots of profanity. I don't think that drew her attention to me.
As usual.
Well,
but maybe she kind of goes, hey, this guy's into technology. I got to follow him.
This guy's
or maybe Twitter. And how many followers does she have?
She has 69.1 thousand followers.
Wow.
Yeah, and she follows how many people?
50.5 thousand.
So she'll follow anybody.
Yeah.
Not to be blunt about. I mean,
I
get retweeted and whatever by, or I get response to some celebrity people, but they don't follow me back.
Yeah. Well, I followed her back. And
I get lots of answers from the local weather lady. She's cool, but she doesn't follow me. It's after I respond to her. In fact, like I said, so she did a weather forecast. So we're not going to get any rain, are we? And she comes back and says, oh, well, LA's going to, Southern California's going to get rained. The Sierra's going to get rain, but we are not. I said, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
There you go.
I think about 5 or 6 comedians following me now. I think it's cool.
A-list type top guys?
Well, not top guys.
So anyways,
although one of them does write for F is for Family and The Simpsons.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
And do you swap tweets with the guy or just...
Every now and then.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sit down, talk Simpsons over some steamed hams, and there you go. So anyways, I, was impressed by this, Twitter following that happened. And what was I going to say? I lost my track. I'm thinking we should try to get her to call the show.
I mean, you're saying you want her to unfollow you?
No, I'm saying I want her to call the show,
and then she'll unfollow you. You've got to think that through.
I think we have a lot to offer Holly here on this show.
Venison, what do you think? You think he'll lose a follower? Did we lose Venison?
Venison's still on the line. Hey, Venison, you there?
Maybe he's closing his tent flap.
Is that code for something?
No, I think it was literal.
Let's not talk about tent flaps when Holly's on the line with us. Could we not? Could we?
Okay. I'll get a timeout then.
Yeah, exactly. So should I tweet the number to her right now?
Or the link.
Or the link? Yeah. Well, actually, here's the thing. She was tweeting earlier today because, and this gave me a little insight into what happened. Here's what I think happened. I think she did some kind of process or method or service that had her follow several people that she doesn't know that have keywords in their accounts that indicate an interest in technology. Because
Blocked
she's
by Trump.
No, I think it's the technology.
Okay.
I think it might be some type of a program or whatever. Obviously people want to get. I mean, if you're doing reporting, writing articles, you want to build up your audience. And she's doing a far better job of building up an audience than I am over here. I mean, we got 3 people watching us on YouTube right now, and we've got 12 people listening to us on the stream, so that's 15. She's got 60-something thousand people following her on Twitter. So obviously she's going about this. She's doing something different from us.
Yeah, but see, the trick is, maybe what she does is just follow people that seem to be interested in politics.
I think there are automated services that do that. I think you can sign up for a service.
And then if there's no activity, then they unfollow you.
Right. So I think there's a service that she just, follows a bunch of people that there's keywords in their tweets or accounts that have to do with technology. And because I'm not the only person that's scratching his head going, what did I do that she's following me? Because this is unusual. This is a classy lady that's, way out of following lowly old peon me over here on my little corner of the interwebs. And it's like, how did that happen? How did a, classy woman of the year 2015 find me on Twitter? And so other people have been more direct about trying to find that. So when I looked at her Twitter, because I followed her. I followed her. I was like, you follow me, I'll follow you. This is cool. And she got a private a DM in Twitter, and she posted a screenshot of it. And she, with the caption, "What a weird response to being followed." Someone just kind of messaged her, "Yes. Do you not want people to follow you? Oh, you can follow, but you have to tell me 3 facts about you for a follow back." Yeah, no. So, you know what? If you have to ask Holly for 3 facts about herself, clearly you've not done your home. I mean, there's 3 facts right on, you look at her account and you know that she's a cat and bird lady, writer of technology stuff, and wants to be a robot. There's your 3 facts right there. But she also tweeted another exchange like that of someone asking, why are you following me? And she's like finding it odd that people are so, put off for being followed. And so that means to me like, well, it sounds to me like you just followed a bunch of people unexpectedly. And that makes sense. So I actually tweeted back at her.
Even why would someone...
Why would you?
There's a lot of people that are on Twitter like, what the fuck? Don't you understand how it works?
Yeah.
Are you an idiot?
So I tweeted in response to this to her, and I said, I was also surprised by the follow, but figured I'd invite you to call into my internet radio show tonight, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, radio.com, rather than question it. Thanks for the follow. And she liked my tweet. She liked my tweet.
Maybe she's gonna listen.
Maybe she's listening right now. Right. Maybe she's she might be unfollowing me as we speak.
That's right.
All right. So should I tweet her the number?
Well, the NHP Live, right? On Skype?
Well, yeah, but there's also a dial-in number.
Oh,
I don't know how to dial it from England, though. She'll have to figure that part out.
She's following you, right?
She's following me.
So if you don't want to give out the number publicly, you could PM her. because she has to be following you.
Oh, no, it's a public number. It's there for everyone to use. If you go to NHB Radio,
the number's there. Okay.
Yeah, if you go to NHB Radio right now, it tells you. It's 984-693 Radio. That's 984-664-2723, and Skype is up at NHB Live. So yeah, let's tweet to her right now. If at Holly. And she was the first Holly to sign up for Twitter, apparently. Holly wants to call in to the show. We are live and can be reached at 984-664-2723 or NHB Live on Skype.
+1, right?
+1. She's smart. She'll figure that out.
And not only that, give her the radio link.
Oh, I've already given her that. All right, there we go. Tweet sent to Holly inviting her to call. Maybe Holly will call us.
All right.
And maybe...
So back to our timeout.
Back to our time. And speaking of technology, which we do a lot, two big things I wanted to kind of go into on the show. One, just the top that's on my mind. You know, I've been thinking about the pioneers of streaming and stuff like that. But another big story that broke. What do you all think about the Billy Mitchell cheating at Donkey Kong scandal? Oh, come on. You've heard of this, right?
We talked about it, didn't we? Or am I having a deja vu movement?
I think I think the story just broke last week, but we didn't really go into it or what's really going on here. But did we go into the backstory any? I mean, so Billy Mitchell, he doesn't have the record for the high score in Donkey Kong, and he hasn't in quite some time. But he's had several high scores listed that are over 1 million points. And let me tell you, achieving over 1 million points in Donkey Kong, that is one tough feat. The game of Donkey Kong does have an end, an unintentional end. There's a level that has a glitch in the code because, you know, the counters reset and something messes up, and it causes the timer to fail. And so you don't have enough time to get to the top of the level once you get to that board. So once you get to that board, that's it. It's not like Pac-Man. Pac-Man, there's a definite high score that you can achieve if you play a perfect game. And Billy Mitchell was the first to accomplish that. Other people have done that. Pac-Man's kind of if you put the time into it, it's a game you could master by memorizing patterns because it's a predictable game. The ghosts will react to certain patterns based on your movements. So you can memorize a pattern on the board and play a perfect game. It just takes clearing 255 boards. And then you get to the kill screen in Pac-Man, which has half the board glitched, and you can only get so many points and you can't clear it or beat it. And once you do that, that's the highest score you can get in Pac-Man. So no one's going to be breaking or beating that record. Record's set. The only thing you can do is play a perfect game. Donkey Kong, on the other hand, has enough variable into it. It's not perfect. I mean, there's variables in the amount of things you can jump, the amount of points those jumps will give you, you know, the timing and how many barrels are thrown. There's you know, there's not necessarily a perfect game. So that's one of those games that's kind of been edging up among the people competing, you know, going for the high score. One of the things with the high score is that you have to get a high score playing on an arcade machine. Playing on an emulator don't count. You can manipulate emulators. And it's Billy Mitchell has claimed that he's got a Donkey Kong cabinet that has a video capture on it, and that he tapes his games on that and submits those scores for review. It's Twin Galaxies. That's the site that was collecting all the high scores for a long time. But apparently it's on the Donkey Kong forums that they've analyzed some of Billy Mitchell's tapes and found that if you slow it down to analyze the frames one by one, you could see the way that the boards are drawn when they start, and the way the boards are drawn is different on an arcade cabinet than it is on an emulator. And so they've determined that these recordings are recorded on an emulator, and they've struck his high scores off of their listings. Twin Galaxies hasn't. Now, Twin Galaxies, I don't know the history, but I think this is a group that goes back to, like a group of, skilled arcade game players. This was the research I was going to do while I spent an hour just talking Tharko talk with Brian. Let me look up the Wikipedia for Twin Galaxies. But they started to basically track high scores on different arcade machines around the country and around the world. And it kind of became more and more official as it went, is the kind of the vibe I get from it. Let's see. It tracks video game world records, conducts a program of electronic gaming promotions. It operates a website, publishes a Twin Galaxies official video game and pinball book of world records. Let's see. During the summer of 1981, Walter Day, founder of Twin Galaxies Incorporated, visited more than 100 video game arcades over 4 months, recording the high scores. So yeah, Walter Day started this as a way to track high scores, visiting different arcades and kind of, checking the high scores on the machines there to kind of get an idea of, how people are doing that are playing these games. And Walter Day is this guy that he loves to walk around with a striped referee shirt on. He's the official arcade video game referee. That's it's his thing.
Shtick.
That's his shtick. That's his shtick. If you're in an arcade and you see an old dude walking by wearing a referee shirt, that's Walter.
Now, does he take a picture of the high score page?
Well, these days now you have to submit your playing to the site, and then someone reviews the tape, which could take numbers of hours. I mean, they're when they did the King of Kong is worth watching. It's a documentary about the rivalry between Billy Mitchell and Steve Wiebe. Some people claim that there are inaccuracies in it. Some say it unfairly portrays Billy Mitchell as a villain when he's really a nice guy. Other people don't. Other people agree that
who portray the character.
Oh no, it was a documentary. They filmed actual footage.
So he played himself.
He played himself. Well, he didn't play him. Yeah, he played himself, but they edited they chose what shots of him to use in their documentary.
So the shot where he's doing this, they got it.
Yeah, here's the thing. Billy Mitchell is active in Twin Galaxies. He's like on their board or in their panel or whatever it is. So it's kind of like, there's some kind of insider stuff going on there, possibly. There could be some conflicts of interest there. So Billy Mitchell had the high score in Donkey Kong, among several other games. And then Steve Wiebe bought a Donkey Kong cabinet in his garage and was going for the world record. And he reached it and sent the tape in. And this, of course,
why would we put the arcade game in his mom's basement? Since that's where he lives.
This is a married guy with children. In fact, he's there playing Donkey Kong, and you hear the child go.
The man cave moved into the
garage.
Gotcha.
The tape of his first time beating the record. Actually, towards the end of the game, consists of the kid yelling, "Daddy, I gotta go to the bathroom! I gotta hold on a minute, hold on." Daddy's playing Donkey Kong. I'm not making this up. That's right. Poor kid needs to go to the bathroom, and he's about to play his best game ever and get the high score. So, you know what? I can buy new pants. The thing is, though, is that he came under scrutiny because, well, it's quite a feat to accomplish that. So of course, anyone submits a world record breaking score like that, it calls into question. Is it possible there's any manipulation, any cheating here? Could he possibly have modified his machine in some way? Is there any cheating going on here? And so, it would be fair for Twin Galaxies to want to investigate this, but they send people out to start digging around this house. They knock on the door. She says, "We'll come back when my husband's home," because he's out working. And they happen to find a box in his garage that was sent to him from one of their rivals. There's a guy that crossed paths with Billy Mitchell, and they don't get along. And so when Steve Wiebe's Donkey Kong cabinet broke down, this guy that doesn't like Billy Mitchell sent him a board for free to help get his machine up and running again, because he's like, you beat his record, because fuck that asshole. And so then that called into question, well, where did that board come from? And did he modify the board some? Because we don't like this guy. So yeah, he starts being put under scrutiny. And they start saying, well, if you really want to get the record without it being questioned, you got to play in one of our arcades at one of our events, and then there's no question about it. And he actually goes out to an event, and he doesn't beat a record there, but he plays, and But meanwhile, Billy Mitchell doesn't show up at the event that Steve Wiebe goes to, sends someone else with a videotape of his own new record that beat Steve Wiebe's record. So it's like, you tell me that you don't trust my cabinet, you tell me I should go out and play live, and then you send a videotape and your guys posted on the site that night. What the, so clearly there was, some favoritism going on there. Now, they did take that off the site and later further reviewed the tape, but you kind of see how there was this bias in favor of Billy Mitchell among the Twin Galaxies. And you know what? Billy Mitchell's a big name in the world of arcade gaming, so he draws attention to them. People pose for pictures with him. My brothers pose for a picture with him.
Wow.
Yeah, well, my brother doing the console wars thing, him and his friend Dan, they go out to the game conferences or conventions, and Billy Mitchell was at one of them, so they got a picture with him. Bought some hot sauce. He has a hot sauce company. That's his living.
His big thing.
His big thing.
His real income.
Yeah. Getting 1 million points in Donkey Kong doesn't pay the bills. Hot sauce, on the other hand, does. So this is kind of a big deal now that Billy Mitchell's being accused of cheating at some of these high scores he's gotten in Donkey Kong. Not only was he going after Steve Wiebe, but he might have been cheating. Billy Mitchell has released has commented on this in the past week, though. My understanding is that Billy Mitchell has said the footage that was reviewed is indeed of an emulator, and how an emulator would draw those graphics. However, the actual footage of my actual record playing games is with Twin Galaxies. And, you didn't get that source from them. So I think Billy Mitchell is trying to claim that the source that is being reviewed is not really
the right one.
It's not his game. It's somehow not his, or it's doctored or something like that. So he's claiming
it's
that
really the Pinball Wizard that did that game.
It could be the Pinball Wizard playing some Donkey Kong, and he's
blind,
plays by smell
and deaf.
Yeah,
right.
Got to play by smell. So, what do we think? You think he's a cheater, or you think he's being set up?
Be honest with you, I wasn't really paying attention, like cooking my mouth.
Oh, you stinker.
Man.
Well, dinner
and myself, I don't really care. I guess I got a timeout.
Yes.
I was paying
Surprised
attention, though. I
paying.
think it's interesting,
Okay.
but I don't know who these people are, and I don't really care. Just being honest.
Apparently, this one article says that Mitchell's pleading ignorance at this point, but reiterates that he's given these accusations his time and attention because competitive gaming is important to him.
Right. I can see that. But to me, it's like people that want to boycott the NFL, they're doing that because their game was their team wasn't there. He thought they follow loser teams.
All right. Well, now Mitchell,
or they prefer curling.
Yeah, curling. We'll talk about that in a moment. I found some of the comments Mitchell made. Mitchell said the reason for this has been explained to him as a situation that arises when you're recording a feed directly from the machine, which he always does. So he's claiming that the way he records it changes it, which sounds a little questionable. He also argues...
So the recording itself changes it to an emulator.
The way it captures the frames makes it look like an emulator, maybe. I don't know. He also argues that one of the instances brought up was during an event where the machine was set up for him by Twin Galaxies, responsible for maintaining all of these classic game records, with a crowd on hand to witness the event. Now, as far as I understand it, the games that were disputed were his submissions. The event ones have stood, but I don't know all the details. We'd have to look at that. It's also noted that the main accusations are being leveled by a fellow gamer that has had a long-standing axe to grind with Mitchell. It's also worth noting that the accusations are for records that no longer stand. Mitchell, in fact, hasn't been in the King of Kong for many years. In other words, this is a war being waged on principle more than anything. At present, folks are trying to track down the original tapes from Mitchell's performances, with experts presumably being brought in to determine their validity. So, yeah, it's still out for review. This is high-tech stuff that maybe it's doctored footage. Maybe there's some weird frame refresh going on because of the way it was recorded that makes it appear like you'd expect an emulator to appear. Maybe Billy Mitchell's a cheater. We don't know.
Like this. So Antioch Raceway has a racing season where amateurs can make up a car and race, right?
Right.
And of course you pick the proper class because every class has very specific rules on what can be in the car. So there's this one guy that shows up to race with one of the classes, and he won't allow them to inspect his car. But they let him go anyway, and he pretty much, every race that he gets into, he gets first place.
Sounds like something's
Which
up
calls
there.
the question, it's very likely that he's cheating with his car.
Yeah.
But the officials probably let him race because it's exciting. Right?
Right. That's not fair to the other contestants, though.
Which would be cool if some other contestant would beat the guy, but they usually don't. I don't know if there's any prize money involved. If there was, then I would say, you know, what the fuck? You're letting this cheater race? That's clearly not fair for anybody, even people that are betting.
Well, heck, I think, you know, the people that are in this...
It's just a fun race. And I don't think people would... I would hope that people wouldn't be betting on this anyway. I think that would be stupid.
I don't know. I think rules are rules, and if he's not going to play by the rules, kick him out. I don't, you know, I don't excite.
I mean, I would too, but I suspect that they allowed him because, hey, it's another car on the field that races.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they're not, and they're not going. They just don't want to enforce it because.
So.
Even the guy that I know that told it, and he races. He doesn't seem to mind that this guy cheats.
Okay. Well, I mean, if they're all cool playing with cheaters, that's their thing. But
it's like if you're playing golf with, you know, the orange guy, and he cheats all over the place.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't follow the rules.
Heck,
at
he
all.
he cheated at a presidential election. So I mean,
Well, no, but this is the game of golf. I think people continue to play with him even though they know he cheats is because of who he is. You know, he's a fucking billionaire. You know, hey, why did the Clintons go to his wedding? Oh, because they viewed him at the time that he was important.
anyways, curling. You mentioned curling.
Curling.
Yeah, well, I've been watching.
Can you cheat at that?
I'm sure you can cheat at anything. I mean, there's regulations on the weight of the stones, or
Sure.
so there's plenty of there. If there's rules, there's a way to cheat. No, but I've watched. Actually, no, skating. I was watching Olympic events, and
Skating or curling?
both, not at
Okay.
the same time. That'd be nice to do some skate curling. Do a little figure skating while the rock is going down the end there.
Or
And,
sumo wrestling and skating.
Oh, I like that. I like that idea.
Have you seen the Geico ad?
No, but I like the idea.
It's
I'm gonna have to find.
hilarious.
I'm gonna have to
It's
find.
hilarious.
Oh, that's right. That's an old one. I remember that one now. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that was
They were
hilarious.
showing that because the Olympics are on, right?
My favorite Geico commercial of all time still was the marriage was built to last, but the house was built too small. You don't remember that one?
No.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to pull this one up now. So let me find it. Because it was the thing about this ad was that it was like a mock advertisement for a reality TV show about a married couple, a newlywed couple having to live in a house that was built really small and everything was small in it, and they're all getting pissed off and frustrated. And my first thought was, you have my attention because I want to see when this show's coming on because I am so watching that. And then you find out it was, but it won't save you any money on your insurance. What? Geico!
So Geico gets a timeout for that one.
Yeah.
We're going to show it to our followers and listeners.
I was
viewers,
so
just
pissed
for the
at
fun of
them.
it.
I was pissed at them for that, but but I had to admit it was funny. So even though I never got to watch a show that I wanted to, so here, let's set up the commercial. Screen share. Here we go, and here it is.
The marriage was built to last.
You are so awesome.
But the house was built too small.
This is kind of awesome.
How long are we here?
For 1 year, sparks will fly.
This is not awesome.
I just want to make an omelet.
Oh, are you kidding me?
The drama will be real, but it won't save you any money on car insurance.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Why haven't you called Geico?
That last line is great.
Yeah. That was
okay.
Nice.
So now look for the Geico sumo skater. I guess that's what you would search.
Okay.
Oh,
Geico.
that was ridiculous.
The judges are so sincere.
They are. They are.
Oh my God.
All right. I think I've got it here. There we go, right over there, and we will bring that up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. So graceful. The corkscrew spin, flawless. Signature move, the Flying Dutchman. Poetry in motion. And there it is, the baby bird. Breathtaking.
A sumo wrestler figure skating? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Heather saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
So there you go.
Of course, you got the Washington crosses the Delaware Turnpike.
Yeah. Oh, that one.
Yeah. Okay. That one was. Yeah. Okay.
We all got places to go. I love that. Big man with a horn.
I like the some of the art gallery Geico commercials were kind of silly. Let's see if I can find any of those. I remember those being kind of like goofy.
Okay, Johnny, fill in the blank. 15 minutes could save you blank on car insurance.
9%.
Wrong! Steve, Rick, go to work.
Oh, not again.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Bizarre. What the hell was that?
They were all pretty bizarre. Let's.
Do you want to eat me?
What's up, sweet baby?
Ooh, hey.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Don't do it, Kimber. He didn't save on his car insurance with Geico.
What? No.
Yeah.
I have Geico.
Ooh, you do?
Well, I mean, my grandparents do. They've been saving with Geico for like 75 years.
Oh, yeah. Skibbity-beep-bop-a-dee-da-ba.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Okay, that's silly.
They all are.
But these are ones that were used more.
I'm
on,
telling you, it was
streaming
super
services.
easy.
I don't know.
I saved hundreds on my car insurance.
What?
Hundreds.
What?
You think this is a joke? Do I look like I'm smiling?
What?
Seriously.
All right.
That was bizarre too.
Yeah, they're all bizarre. Oh, this is not the one I was thinking of.
What?
Oh yeah, I've seen this a few times.
I switched to Geico and got more.
More savings on car insurance?
Uh-huh. And an award-winning mobile app.
Well, it is more.
Oh, there's more. Mobile ID cards, emergency roadside service.
More technology.
I can even add a new driver.
Right from her phone.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot.
Okay, that was kind of silly. Some of these other portrait gallery ones were. There was one that I kind of remember that I can't describe, and I can't find it either.
Hey, yo, you in the denim leotard.
Me?
No, not you. You in the mom jeans.
Me.
No, not you, Mom. You.
Me?
Yeah, I want you to go to geico.com and save some money, eh?
Mom jeans.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
All right,
That was weird.
Yeah. The portrait gallery ones are weird, and they were like when you were streaming Hulu for free back in the day, you'd see a lot of those.
Nobody wants to eat me.
Oh, here we go. Here's one more.
Stop! Is that a tabby before us?
Meow, meow.
Wayward feline, move aside. I cannot let you scratch our vessel, for I am drifting, uninsured.
What? You need to get insured right meow.
Yes, but how, my suspended friend?
It's easy. Call Geico. You can save hundreds. Here, use your oar. Do it. Do it, meow.
Mother of pearl.
Beep boop, beep, beep boop, meow.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I'm not quite sure what to make of that one.
Yeah, me neither. I'm stunned.
Beep boop beep beep boop beep beep boop beep.
Oh God.
So let's talk about. We've been pioneering in this. Well, at least Venison and I certainly were. Venison, when you say you're a pioneer in internet radio streaming,
No.
no. Who do you think are the pioneers?
You know, I'm thinking of way back in the day of Live 365 and all that. You know, the first time I even heard of internet radio back in the 90s.
Yeah, well, I mean, but we fall somewhere in there. I always consider myself as part of the second generation of No Holds Barred Radio, and I think No Holds Barred Radio is among the pioneers in streaming comedy of the a type of genre.
So let's ask this: did No Holds Barred Radio come out of guys that, you know, shall we say, worked at the college radio station?
Yeah. No Holds Barred Radio was started by Damon Fabrio and Mike Ellis.
At that time, the only thing you could do is you had a transmitter and you would broadcast it on the air.
Right. And after college, they wanted to keep doing their radio show. And
Isn't
Damon
it
was
odd that radio went from a wireless technology to a wired technology?
Well, but a lot of people do wireless. Well, it's gone back to wireless in a lot of ways, and it stayed wireless in many ways.
True.
It's just spread out in different ways. That's an interesting thought, though.
Right.
But
just the sheer irony of it. It really doesn't mean anything.
But I recall, thinking a topic came up on the Dune and Bob show yesterday. Do you all remember Jenny cams?
Yeah.
Not really.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Venison?
Not really. I think I might have heard it once.
You've heard of it. Well, now, Brian, what do you know of Jenny Cam?
Jenny Cam is the lady that just put camcorders all over her house.
Well, there are webcams, actually.
Or webcams, that's what I meant, yeah.
And it started in the 90s. And Jennifer Ringley, she was a college student, and she bought a webcam, like her junior year of college. And you buy this thing, it's like, well, what can I make it do now? What am I going to do with this? And so she wrote a script that would make it take, a new picture every like 20 minutes or so. And so she realized, I could make this. And so she decided to kind of make this some kind of a live cam that, to post a new picture of her room every 20 minutes. And she didn't want it to be invasive or have to think of it, so she just lived her life in front of the camera. So if she got naked in her room, she got naked in her room. And at some point, at first it was one of these things that maybe some of her friends at college knew about it, but I guess at some point word got out about it. And word got out that hey, you could see her making out with her boyfriend. Apparently she brought a guy back to her room. And
this was a series of stills at the beginning?
Well, it was always stills. I don't think she ever went to live
video.
Live video. Yeah. Well, although
I never went to the site, so maybe that's why I don't know.
Yeah,
I always assumed that it was videos.
No.
I mean, like you can go all over the place and look up webcams. You can find a webcam, on the highway looking at traffic.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No,
hey, that could be fun.
This was stills, and it was always stills. And
well, probably didn't have the bandwidth back then. She was probably on a dial-up, right?
Well, no. I think she always had high speed. She was into tech. She was a web developer. So she was. But what happened is that the bandwidth.
Yeah, but I know how some high-tech people that still probably use dial-up.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure she was using more than dial-up, but don't quote me on that.
But if you had stills, you could actually do dial-up.
Right, but
it could probably connect up automatically.
Well, if I could tell the story.
Boom. But go ahead.
Thank you. No, but it gained popularity to the point that just the bandwidth of people downloading those pictures caused their ISP to basically call her up one day and say, you owe us hundreds of dollars and we're not hosting your site anymore. And so she had
hundreds
to change.
Hundreds of dollars for what?
For bandwidth usage. She exceeded her bandwidth allowance on her site.
Because of people that go to her site.
Right.
I see. So you have to pay for that too?
Well,
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, that's how bandwidth works. When you have a site, you probably have a bandwidth allowance that you would never go over. And this is even less of an issue today as in the early days when bandwidth was, the resources were not what they are now. But no, like, for example, you remember a while ago I set up that Surroundophonic streaming radio site.
Yeah.
And I had to pay for a certain level of bandwidth that I never reached because I barely had anyone tuning into it. But if it got popular and more people tuned in, at some point I would have to pay for more for that server because they basically allot you a certain amount of bandwidth per month.
Okay, so we don't want too many people to log into our show because we don't want to exceed our bandwidth limit.
Well,
oh, wait a second. I don't see any danger of that.
But that's the way these services work. You do want to draw an audience, but drawing an audience means using more resources, which means you have to pay for more resources. So if you're going to do that, you want to do it in a way that you're generating income. But
even from the beginning of telephone, if someone called you, that doesn't count against you. So how did it switch where someone calling into the server where your website is, and you have to pay for that too?
Because that's the reason.
What the fuck?
Because you're providing content, and I guess it's resources, and you have to pay for that, and there's limits. Now
it's complicated.
Yeah, but that's the way it works. I mean, how else?
I'm just
how else are they supposed to properly charge? Now, here's the thing: if I start a site and I'm pulling in tens of thousands of listeners, I could easily be making money with that opportunity there. So I should be paying for the resources that are being used.
Of course, we could monetize our YouTube channel and make money at it.
Yeah, well,
right? Although except that they keep popping up the rules. How many followers do we have? Oh, we don't have enough.
We got 2 viewers, so I don't think we're gonna.
No, but how many subscribers?
I don't know. Enough that I was able to. No, I have enough subscribers. I was able to set a custom URL, but that's not much.
Oh, but that's not monetized.
Okay, so the point is, you pay for your bandwidth usage. That other people are using. So Jenny's webcam unexpectedly drove up huge demands that had the ISP going, oh dear, because they had to pay for those resources too. So I don't know if they ended up charging Jenny those hundreds of dollars, but she had to change things. And that's why Jenny Cam had a membership fee, which she didn't make money. She could have been rich doing what she was doing. She never did that. She made it paid.
Then people would go after her, charging her that running a porn site. Oh, wait a minute, that's not illegal, is it?
Well, no, and actually, that's kind of you're fast forwarding a bit here. But she did start charging money to the site. Now she did have a free site, and the site for non-members would refresh like every hour or something like that instead of every 5 minutes. Like if you paid, you got a higher refresh. If you didn't pay, you had to wait. So this was a way that she was able to keep doing it for free and still being able to provide that refresh rate for people that cared, because that way they can kind of contribute towards the bandwidth fees with her ISP that she had to set up for this to work. So yeah, there was a membership. I was never a member, but I followed it because I don't know how I found it, but obviously some late night browsing.
You'd heard about it.
Well,
since you're well connected.
I was clearly looking for sites that included nudity at the time I found it. I'll admit that. And there was a site that had to, and then the idea of live cameras or live video or things like that interested me. But then there was somewhere it was a link to, here's a camera in, Jenny Cam, it's in her bedroom, and that kind of was like, ooh, she have sex on it? I wonder if she has sex on it. She probably has. And so you bookmark it because you want to come back to it because, when I first clicked on it, it was an empty bedroom. And so I at some point I was coming back to it. And she had a chat room on IRC. And I used to hang out there. I've played Truth or Dare with Jenny and some of her friends because, I hopped in and lurked there mostly. But I kind of got to know she had some friends around the country that were regulars that she'd come in and talk to. It was always exciting whenever she jumped into the chat room. And yeah. So, but clearly, she was a pioneer of cam girl. She was the first cam girl, and it wasn't a porn thing. Although she did get naked for the camera, and but her boyfriend wasn't a fan of, so he would turn the camera away if they were going to get busy in the room. And she was, she's like, hey, that's his choice if he wants to turn the camera away. Sorry, guys, but he doesn't want to be seen. But no, yeah, it was. But she also was a pioneer in video show online. Yeah. Right. She was doing
she was doing videos. She's doing stills.
But she also did a video show that would post new episodes every few weeks. And here's something.
Oh, okay.
Here's something that's partially lost.
Was she on YouTube or on this her own site?
This was before YouTube.
Yeah.
There was actually a site called The Sync, SYNC, that was hosting little video things. And there's a Wikipedia page about them. The Sync was an independently owned and operated webcasting company that pioneered the presentation of original and exclusive webcast entertainment content. Started by Tom Edwards and Carla Cole in 1997 and based in Laurel, Maryland. The company made history in 1998 by presenting Erica Jordan's film Walls of Sand for real-time viewing. This was the first time that a contemporary feature film was made available for online viewing. The Sync also produced original programming, most notably The Jenny Show, starring Jennifer Ringley of Jenny Cam fame, and the daily monologue comedy show Snack Boy, starring Terry Crummett. The Sync also presented its own film festival of independently made short films. Net surfers could vote on the winning titles, with the new winner chosen on a monthly basis. The Sync went offline in 2002 following the collapse of the .com industry, which is sad. They were really onto something there in the early days of watching videos on the internet. The thing is, I remember one of the more popular shows, I don't remember the name of it, but it was a group of people that would talk about different topics, and a lot of times they were sexually related. And the site is archived in the Wayback Machine, but the videos are not. And that's kind of a sad thing, that this is a part of the internet history that could possibly be lost. The only thing I can find is several of the Jenny shows have been preserved on YouTube in very low quality. And I don't remember what quality these streamed at, but watching video online in the early days is not like watching YouTube now.
Even digital cameras were pretty crappy back then as well.
Right.
Not only video, but stills.
Right.
And maybe that's why she went to stills initially, because the quality of the early digital videos sucked so badly.
Well, no, I mean, the bandwidth of it. She didn't have the bandwidth to stream video out of her. I mean, this was record an episode of something. This was creating content. She would have a topic each show. This was a completely different thing, completely different angle. It's just that now that she has this notoriety, and now that she's known, I'm guessing the Sync approached her about it, and she thought, hey, it's a good idea. May as well do it. But I don't even know. I wish I could go back in time and look at what it looked like back then, because these captures that I found of it are horrible. And I don't know if it's just bad captures that someone saved from years ago, or if that is actually what it streamed at, because they would stream in Real Player. Remember Real Player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used that for a while and realized there's better.
Well, Real Player was good at compressing content for the internet. It was good for that.
Yeah, right.
You know what was frustrating about Real Player was that the Real Player was free.
Wasn't that a guy that split off from Microsoft?
I don't know. I never really knew the history of Real Player. Let's
That'll be in Wikipedia.
It was pretty decent for a while.
But it was always low quality, but it got the job done. The thing about
It wasn't that low quality.
It depends. It was also variable quality. You could set it to be variable. The thing about Real Player was it was free to get the player. If you wanted to actually create content in Real Player format, that cost you money. And at some point in time, off of a download site, I did find a version of the Real Player that let you create files, and that was cool. So I did have the ability to create my own Real Player files, which by the time hey,
Venison.
Yeah.
Did you ever check out Johnny's porn site?
I didn't use it to make porn.
Oh well. Your response was quicker than Venison's.
Mine was only to say what?
Well, no, back then that was one of the more popular ways to post video content to a website. So I mean, I had a semester in college that was based around creating and updating a website. And, so I was putting some of my class projects on there. And so that way I was able to take one of my, like this animation project I had to do and compress it to Real Player format. So
By the way, have you seen the movie The Circle?
I'm not familiar with that off the top of my head.
Emma Watson, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
It came out about a year ago. Yeah, a year ago. It's worth watching because you talk, and in fact, there's a piece where Emma Watson has cameras following her all over the place. And you look at Tom Hanks' character, he's like the CEO of this super company. Do you kind of go, I think this is kind of a mixture of Google and Facebook?
Okay.
I think you'd find it very interesting. It's really a good movie. But it's kind of techie, which means it's why it probably didn't... I
don't know.
It didn't get out there.
I'll check it out. But the other frustrating thing about Real Player was...
The circle. The circle.
Yeah,
okay.
I got it. Thank you.
Got it.
The other
Not the square. Never mind. Go ahead. The other thing.
Not the square.
Not the square. It's the circle.
What if you took a square and you took off the corners?
That would be like a octagon. And we know about octagons. Octagons are for fighting.
And stopping.
And what?
And stopping. You know.
True. That's a hexagon, though.
But you could no. Stop sign's octagon.
Oh, okay. But also for fighting. Oh, have you seen the ad for Sling TV where?
Nope.
It's the bros.
Nope, haven't seen
the
it.
Bro Week putting up the Bro Weekend.
But if you sand off the corners on the octagon,
yes, okay,
then you could probably get that into a circle.
Yeah.
All right.
Or spin the thing and keep the thing standing all the way around, and eventually it becomes a circle. Yes.
So the other
does
thing,
that make it the circle?
So the other problem I had with Real Player was
Yes.
I found the version that makes files, and I found that, remember, you can get the professional version because I always wanted you to buy the professional version, even though they gave you the free version. And I actually got a download of like the professional version of Real Player 8, and I liked it. And so I always kept that installed. But then at some point, files wouldn't play it anymore, and you had to upgrade to the latest free player. And so that pissed me off because I wanted to use my professional one that I stole, borrowed, obtained.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. The only thing that's left of it now is these really low quality rips that are on. Like, let's see if I can find them. Like, and I can't even find all the episodes. I can only find this is a good number of them though. But I wish I could find more. But here's the early days of doing shows on the internet. I like the theme music that she picked. I need to find that song.
All right. So, welcome to Jenny's show number 8. This is the lingerie slumber party. We decided that since so many people asked for a lingerie show, we might as well give it to you. So here I am wearing several of my fancy lingerie items. We also have Terry, whom is our personal servant for the day, wearing my thigh-high boots and my silk robe.
I've been a very bad boy.
He's looking divine. And we also have Carla wearing one of my silk nighties.
Catholic girl gone bad.
All of Joffrey's clothes are supplied by he himself. So we're going to be having a slumber party type evening, asking questions, getting down and dirty and so forth. So follow along. You're going to love it. All right.
So as you can see, the quality is real state of the art there with the pixelating and the
yeah. You're going to see a lot of good body parts.
Yeah. I don't think you're even going to be able to make out a nipple there if it came out.
That's right.
So
there ain't going to be a wardrobe malfunction. The whole thing's a malfunction.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but no, I watched those episodes. I waited for the new ones to come out. I watched them, and it's like, I can't think of anyone that was doing anything quite like that before. Now, she wasn't the first show on the site, The Sync, but I don't recall another, site that hosted videos of original content quite like that. They were There probably were other ones, and there probably were other ones that were bigger that everyone could just write in and tell me, "Hey, idiot, what about this, this, and that?" But no, they were. And the other thing I remember, it's funny to think back of these early days of the internet and the things that amazed us at the time and how common they are now. I mean, like, this was cool that this girl in Washington, D.C. Is posting a video just asking questions about her life, what's on her mind. That was like a little 20-minute thing every 2 weeks. That was cool. And now it's like, yeah, who doesn't do that? And then the other thing that I remember was really cool was it was a real media stream that was like a radio stream that played 24/7 of Grateful Dead bootlegs. If you wanted to, you know, put on some Grateful Dead, you just went to the site and brought up the stream in your real player, and it'd be playing some Grateful Dead. And I was like, holy crap. Live, well, not live, it was recordings, but a, you know, live stream of recordings of music that goes 24/7. This is awesome. This is a great idea. Why aren't more people doing this? And I mean, this is this would have been like 97, 98 that I was finding these things.
Well, what it comes down to is that companies need to figure out how it makes money.
Yeah, I mean, the Grateful Dead one was able to be done because the Grateful Dead allowed people to freely record and trade their bootlegs. So there was already kind of a precedent set that no one was going to come in and sue you for this. But they did eventually get shut down. At some point, it was deemed that there was a difference between trading bootlegs and streaming them live on the internet. And so they had to, they were up for a number of years, but they had to shut that down. That sucked.
Yes. So incidentally, I dug into Real Player.
Yeah.
And of course, that's by Real Networks. The founder is Rob Glazer, who worked for Microsoft for 10 years.
Ah, interesting.
And then there's a lot of details about this guy, including recently he started a website, PutinTrump.org, to monitor and report then candidate Donald Trump's connections to Vladimir Putin.
Interesting.
So he's still busy.
Oh, wow, I still have my Real Player.
You know, it was funny because it seemed to be that you could get away with having two video players on your computer, because usually, like, you could get Windows Media Player or Winamp to play anything that you could throw at it.
Yeah.
And then, except for Real Player, I mean, that was what's the word I'm looking for? That was proprietary. So it was like, after a while, Real Player got to be an annoying necessity. Like, you know, I install this to watch videos, and I install Real Player for the Real Player files that are still out there. And I think that ultimately killed it at the end of the day, because once
Real Player,
yeah, because it was proprietary. You had to have their player.
Well, sure. I mean, that would be a factor, but
and as bandwidth,
you can still get a current version. The current version is
right, but yes, you can still get a version. But at some point, also VLC will play Real Player files, so that helps make it not necessary. But at some point, it wasn't necessary for content anymore on the internet. There were other ways to do it, and you didn't have to compress it to that level. And then, you know, you didn't have to add on an extra player. It just lost relevance over time. And I think part of what
Real Player still around?
Yeah, it's still around.
Yeah. There's a current version.
I'm
still Real Player 18.
They're on
18.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
whoa.
So it used to be on Adobe Flash, and now it's HTML5 video. But Adobe Flash is the same problem. It's kind of proprietary, so that's why people are getting away from it.
Right, but I just remember anytime I did a new Windows install, it's like I got to install Real Player just for Real Play, and it was pissing me off that I had so many softwares that were versatile and did everything, and then I had to have this one specific program for this one specific type of file, because I still had Real Player files I had downloaded and saved someplace.
Sure.
At this point, I can't remember the last time I opened up a Real Player file. I'd have to start digging through some really old backups.
To be honest, I can't recall. In fact, I don't have anything saved that's specifically Real Player content.
Well,
therefore I don't install Real Player on my machines.
No, I haven't installed it in quite some time. Well, VLC will play them now.
Oh, I don't have that either.
All right, let's see what I've got my spindle of burned discs over the years. Let's see, I've got Daria episodes, but those were burned in VCD format. Baron 2-track material, multi-tracks. A bunch of ADHD and Rice Rona University episodes from 2007, 2008. We don't need those. Games, emails, miscellaneous. Wow, that's an old backup. MP3's games. Oh, that's an old backup disc. NHBD drive old backup. Dollar Bin Specials 2007. Oh, some old MP3s. Some more old MP3s. Amateur Hour 2007. Amateur Hour July to October 2006. Installers. First mixes based on a fantasy. Sound effects. Classic Cow Goes Moog. Frank Zappa. Martin Mull. Robert Fripp. Fripp and Beatles. Frank Zappa. Oh, wow. There's lots of various things here. This is thrilling radio. Listen to me go through a spindle of CDRs. Steely Dan boots. Aerosmith Toy in the Attics, Raw Waves. Ralph Records, Penn, Gillette. Eagles, One of These Nights. Oh, these are some quad backups now. All right. Well, I found the interesting. I bet you we can find some Real Player files in some of these discs. So let's find out. What did Gators find worthy enough to download Real Player files of? Or did they survive?
I don't know. What you'll have to tell us.
Yeah, I'll have to find
Dennis,
out.
You're on the edge of your seat, right?
Oh, yeah.
Don't sound too enthusiastic there. Oh, dear. I wonder if this disc is going to be able to spin up anymore. It's probably been years since I've last spun up this disc. Oh, okay. It is. It is detecting a disc. Let's see. Downloaded. Army of Quad. Oh my God. These are chat logs. I don't want to read those. Let's see. Games. These are DOS games. I might have to save those. Genesis ROMs. Metroid. Oh, wow. Those are all the Metroid music files. Stuff. Let's see. Sims, Pico, chat, pics, sounds, video. Oh, here we go. Here we have some real audio, and some of these are let's see what we got. I've got different old downloaded things. These are not all real format though. Like I have this one is an AVI, and I'm trying to set it to open with VLC because it's set to open with something else, and I don't know why. So let's do that. So there was a site that archived TV materials from the 70s, and I thought this was so cool that I started downloading a bunch of these to save them. So I don't even know if you can get these on that site anymore or if that site's still on the internet. But anyways, here's a bumper for movies on ABC. Was that quality video right there or what?
Don't ask me. I don't have video up.
Brian? You're
Let
muted.
me unmute and say it again.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah. All right, let's see what else of some of these are just real audio, so I think they're only audio. Like let's see, here's one that's oh, this one's a video. Here's the opening credits to All My Children in a real player file. That is quite pixelated. There's Will, there's Opal, there's Dixie, Brian Bodine, Trevor and Jeremy and Haley and Natalie. There's Sarah and Myrtle and Tom, Gloria, Derek, Mona, that guy. Oh, yeah, there's Dimitri in the middle. And of course, the one and only Erica Kane. I think I missed some of the names there. Yeah, this is the type of stuff I downloaded in college. Let's see what else we got.
Because you knew that you would keep them.
Yeah, and I did.
Show them on like an internet radio show.
Hey, you never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
Hey, here's one. Here is Gothard's animation project from college. A Snidazor. I must capture it. It's a little Pokemon battle here. And that's Pikachu
audio,
there.
I take it?
No, it's silent. And that is senior douchebag Jeff Snyder. Yep, he got captured by the Pikachu there. Ha ha! I captured the Snidazor.
The end.
The end. Quality animation there.
Yes, needs audio. Need to get a talkie going, right?
Yeah. So let's see what else we got. I downloaded a Archie's music video, which seems to have trouble playing right now. It's changing colors, but it's not making any sounds. Oh dear, I might have to actually download the real player to play this one. Huh? Why? I wonder why that's not playing.
Oh well.
Yes.
Okay,
What's
so
up,
my
Fenton?
sound card's working.
I'm looking up something else here. Trying to see if I can.
We all know that sound.
Yep.
All right. Oh, here we go. I got some classic Dave
The
Letterman.
show every night on NBC, as you know, is David Letterman, who just finished, I think, his fourth?
Dave Letterman on Johnny Carson.
Just
With Johnny Carson.
Starting on 4, finished 4. We're starting on 5. Or he's going to do 5, we're starting on 3. He's going to be also on an NBC special this Monday night at 9 p.m. called the Television Academy Hall of Fame.
So yeah, you can download all kinds of things like this.
No. What 70s TV shows like?
What's that?
I'm trying to figure out
Why don't you
which
get
70s
something to
TV
cool
show I
this
like.
fire down?
I got just the thing.
Here we go. One of my favorite Super Bowl commercials I had downloaded. Do a little happy dance here. He's gonna get some lucky. Some lucky.
I got too low for that fire.
Actually, they played this one.
Never let you down.
I played it last week.
That's not that
Oh, you
bad.
played it last week.
I played it last week off of the YouTube, but I had it downloaded too. So
Right. That's where I saw it.
yeah. Here's one I didn't play last week. That's low.
Ow.
but not as low as Southwest Airlines Click and Save.
Oh.
You are now free to move about the country.
There we go. But those are QuickTime files, actually. And of course, we got one of my favorite Conan O'Brien moments. We just need to set that one to also open with VLC. Here we go.
Anybody else? Yeah, you, sir. Go ahead. Sir, tell us, what's your name?
Joseph Rogers.
And your song?
Big Red Hawaiian Penis.
Oh yeah, we know both versions. Yeah, both. Yeah, well, actually, we'll do the original, the '58 version. Yeah.
Big red Hawaiian penis. Big red Hawaiian penis.
That's the song. Very, very good.
Big red Hawaiian
take a break.
penis.
Come back. David Bowie is going to sing. Big red Hawaiian penis.
Big red Hawaiian penis. Big red Hawaiian penis.
There you go.
Obviously, late night.
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
And is that a cable channel?
No, that was NBC.
NBC. Late night.
Way back when.
He was on after Letterman.
Right.
Then he moved to
But
cable.
one of my favorite is the fake ad. Yeah, I think you got chemistry. Do you feel it? And there's these couples in a car. After the guy comes to the car. Oh, did you meet Jenny? My new girlfriend.
The beeper commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Beeper,
old.
right? That's right.
We're gonna find. Oh yeah, we got to find that
I
commercial.
love that commercial.
There we go. Beeper fart commercial on YouTube. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There it is. All right. So there we go. We got to share the
Beeper
screen.
fart?
You don't remember this? Here we go.
This is so classic.
Oh, this sucks. This ain't the right one. All right, let's try this one.
I can't believe it. It's my first blind date.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Really?
Woo!
You guys meet? Greg, Janice?
We sure did.
That was stupid.
Great.
This is Smart, a beeper service for just $1.99 a month. From who else? Smart Beep. Call 1-800-BEEP-199 for other smart stuff, like directions.
We've got chemistry here. You feel it?
I felt it.
All right, Janice.
The boyfriend's face in the back seat too is also priceless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's just like that.
The visual is.
I mean, she's all like, "Hey, I'm going to taught you about that." He's just like, "Oh." That's.
It was great.
Be careful where you fart. You never know
Exactly.
who's in the back seat. I also have various sounds I've downloaded.
Farting on the elevator is the worst because you can't
Yes.
get away and you can't deny it.
Oh,
sorry.
Some of my music projects are on here. Let's see.
Cool.
Well, they're not very complicated or complex. I mean, I only had exercises like it was Harmony 4 where we got into different types of harmonies, and I believe it was a type of harmony called octatonic. And I'm trying to remember what octatonic meant. So I'm gonna Google that because it's not composing piano music for octopuses.
Right. But all of those names for the different tonals, tonalities, they should have like Star Trek names, like Klingons and
No, the octatonic scale is a scale that alternates between a half step and a whole step.
Okay.
And
So
that's octagonal.
Octaphonic.
Octaphonic. Yeah,
So you
that's
go
right.
like
Yeah, blah.
C, D, D sharp, F, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C.
Isn't that just called chromatic?
No, because chromatic would be all half steps.
I'm sorry. Say the letter sequence again.
Wait a minute. Oh no, I'm reading all of them. You would no wait. This scale doesn't. I'm no C D sharp F. Basically, you alternate between a half step and a whole step. Oh, here we go. Let's play an octatonic scale in C. Oh, it wants me to open that with something. It doesn't want to just play it in the site. Of course not. Here we go. We're gonna open this up. That was turned down. So these are 2 octatonic scales in C. Wow, it's still quiet.
I hear it.
So here the scale alternates between a half step and a whole step.
So you composed something that used that scale.
That used that scale. That was an exercise to compose a brief snippet of music that uses that type of scale. And so this was what I...
this is where you need a keyboard in your studio so that you could actually play it rather than find some video. Maestro. That's cool.
What's odd about that, though, is that is what immediately came to my mind when I first heard the octatonic scale. It kind of just boom, boom, and oddly enough, after I wrote that,
never happened to again.
Well, I have a few little bits and things here and there, not much, not enough to put a decent piece together with. Someone could probably expand it out into something, but I never did anything more with that. The thing is that uses the octatonic scale that doesn't have a leading tone to the tonic. Because generally a way, because that was something that he talked about, that you're most likely going to want to use an octatonic scale that has the half step leading to your tonic. So if you're in the key of C, you want to have a B leading to C, because that, that T do really establishes the do, the center. But that piece was not composed. It was composed in an octatonic scale that has a whole step leading to the key rather than a half step. And so I established that tonal center without using a leading tone. But it's just what came to my mind. So I didn't even realize I was doing that. And here's one of my more here's the thing. Our final project was to write a theme and variations, with the variations using a lot of these different tonal types of things we learned about, because Harmony 4 was all about learning about different 20th century composition techniques, like chordal music, or different modes, different things like that. And I don't have that full piece. I never did record the full theme and variations. Somewhere I've got my handwritten score of it, and I suppose I could break it out and perform it. I don't think it came out all that great, because it was rushed at the last minute, and it was basically there was basically a blueprint of variation 1 will do this, variation 2 will do this, and you had some license within those variations to use those methods as you wanted to, but it was very much dictated how to write this piece to demonstrate all the things you learned in that semester. The only thing I have is my theme. I don't have my variations. I have my theme, and I'm just gonna say this right now. At the time, this was the theme that came in my head, and I wrote it down, and I thought it was original, and I guess technically it is, but I basically made my own version of the Enigma variations because I think my theme sounds an awful lot like that theme. So
That sounds like perfect timeout music.
Are you playing that?
What's that?
No,
Are you playing
he
that?
has a recording he was playing.
That's I played it many years ago, and that's the. This is me going through old backups of stuff that used to exist on my computer.
See, I would be using that, man. I would use that as part
That
of
was
the show.
that was just a variation on the Enigma theme.
But theme songs to shows are just that.
I don't know. I don't see that.
Oh man!
Actually, I played the wrong one. That was the thing. It was. I liked it better slow. I tried it slow and fast.
So you want full-on funeral dirge?
That's basically how I think that harmony worked. But some of my variations went faster. But I felt the theme should go slow. It's what it is, so you may as well own it. That's enough of that. None of this is any. Those are the only original things of mine I have on here.
Now, when you got one of these tonal ideas, would they talk about the specific, either popular music or modern classical that would use it?
Classical that would use it. 20th century classical. Not really, but yeah, I mean, heck, I remember learning about chordal technologies, talking about Paul Hindemith, and some examples of that. Yeah, there were examples in class of how some of these techniques were used. I don't know what all these files are, so we might just have to start playing through some of them.
I know the Beatles did a few songs that were tonal, that were unusual chord sequences that were not in popular music, and they kind of brought that in. That I'm learning a lot on this Beatles channel on XM Radio. It's like, oh,
yeah,
just a bunch of dudes from Liverpool. What the fuck do they know?
They
knew a lot.
They knew quite a bit. Yeah. I got. Oh, I wish Sir Mars was listening right now. Oh my God, I've got recordings of Tams on this backup. Let's Tams. The Tamster.
Oh. Lester, she tell her. Hey, Tamster.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat you up.
Yeah, this was this chick I was talking to online back in the day.
Is that Gollum's sister?
Yes. Yes, it was.
My precious.
Precious.
I still love that South Park episode where
the Precious.
There's that little boy that found the Precious.
The Precious.
The videotape that Mom and Dad had.
Ooh, no.
Backdoor Sluts 9? And everybody was looking for that video.
There we go. I think that's the file for Mars right there.
Hey.
This was like, the girl that both me and Mars were talking to around the same time before we knew each other. That's her. She sent me every now and then. She'd send me little clips.
Just video, audio clips.
Audio clips. Yeah.
And you saved them.
Well, they're on a backup. These would be long deleted if it weren't for the fact that I got buried in a spindle. It was near the bottom of this spindle. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just looking for real player files.
That's right. So you go to the bottom of the barrel, as it were.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This would be fun. Let's see if this will even play.
Women.
Hey, you guys! We're gonna turn it on.
That's in a format called AU. I don't even remember AU files. What were
I do.
Well, I remember them. I don't know what they were or what they. But yeah, some websites had AU files. Yes, I download the Electric Company theme in AU file format. All kinds of random things in this backup. Oh, I got the sausage song.
A file format introduced by Sun Microsystems and was common on Next systems on early web pages.
Oh, wow. This was an MP3 that you could download for free on the Freddy Got Fingered website when that was a new movie.
Yes, sir. You run out and get your Next computer.
There you go. Next computer. Oh, yeah, those
play
are real popular.
That's funny.
There were a few weird formats out there.
As we go into the scene, there are several birds of varying sizes roaming the set, perched in the trees of the orchard and the forest. They were all rented from the...
Okay, that sounds like a description of the Wizard of Oz scene. Oh, here we go. The News for New York theme. My favorite news theme of all time. What about you, Brian? You got any old backups or old files that you downloaded years ago that you've long forgotten about that we could review? Nope.
It's probably backed up someplace. I wouldn't even know where to begin to look. I was thinking about, do I have any of the old shit still?
Maybe for next week.
Yeah, I'll look for it.
I know I do.
Let's see. I don't remember what this is, but this is something that features Moog and orchestra.
Hang on a second. I got to step away.
Okay. I'm not sure what that's from, but I'd love to find the whole recording of that.
Oh, wow. I remembered this.
Yeah,
I got a mystery. It was a real, in our RAM, a real audio, actually, video. That you asked me before, do I watch cartoons? Yeah. And I got a whole collection of, Killer the White Lion, which as a kid was my favorite. And I think I got all the series, even the new series I never even knew there was. And all the movies, including some pretty cool ones. But there was one, and when looks through all of them, I think I found all of them. All the content that could be found, except for this one real audio or real media file. It was a video, and it showed, and it showed Kimba, but it was totally different. It was totally different. One thing they showed him growing up as an adult, he was, with his 2 kids and his wife, and he was walking with Roger Ranger, who also grew up, a little bit older. Another character who way at the beginning of the original. But the thing is, I did not like the way they had his voice. I mean, the voice sounded so gay, it was fucking unbelievable. And that was the only clip of that was found anywhere. Couldn't find the series at all. But it exists, just a little rare. But like I said, I found what looked like to be all of them, and everybody said this is all of them. Apparently, it's not. Now we have a mystery.
Yeah.
Can we find the rest of it?
That's real mysterious. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we got in this. Oh, I got pictures. Do I have any good pictures? These are probably pretty bad pictures. Let's see what kind of pictures I saved off the internet back in the day, because that makes good radio. Doesn't that make good radio? That makes great radio. Well, I think the Hangout is crashing now. I can't handle looking at pictures and sharing my screen at the same time. Because that would be crazy talk. Yeah, so now oh my God, the Hangout is totally freezing on me now.
Oh, I'm watching Crypto's the super dog now. Got it on the cartoon side. I was like, oh, what's this? Oh.
All right, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
You could hear me then?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Am I moving?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just my side that the screen completely crashed and is frozen. So it just means I can't share screen anymore. Oh, there we go. Now it decided to unfreeze. I found pictures that I saved off the internet. So I figured this could be amusing, because what makes for good radio? Pictures.
Pictures. Absolutely.
Pictures.
I'm with you on that, man.
So here we go. Argent is here. They're here, man. Argent is here. Remember Argent?
Vaguely.
This is advertising. Well, this is an advertisement for their new single, God Gave Rock and Roll to You. Does this let me just cycle through all the pictures in the folder? No, it won't. You know, it used to be that photo viewers would let you skip to the next one.
You can scan through them, right?
Right.
But that one sucks.
Whatever Windows 10 is using for default, however, does not do that. So let's see what I can open.
Oh, well,
with.
yeah. The Windows 10 picture viewer does that, and it's decent. But that's not the default one, so you got the thing that sucks.
All right. Well, here we go. No, that's the wrong window. Here it is. Here's a picture I took off of eBay of Captain Beefheart 8-track tapes that I didn't buy. There's a picture of another Captain Beefheart 8-track tape. Oh, there we go. Trout Mask replica. This is a picture, the cover of the Best of KC the Sunshine Band.
Oh yeah,
that's
little anime.
Little anime, yeah. Another picture of Captain Beefheart. Oh, the cat carrier. With a pointy screw tight
for the back end.
For the back end.
Nice.
1649.
I can't quite see the picture of the guy carrying the cat, but I take it the head into the basket.
In a head goes
Tabby
the basket.
Tote.
Tabby
Perfect
Tote.
name.
Yes, I do Tabby Tote.
Right.
Oh, this was a banner ad I made for my animation project. I don't know where that file is. Sailor CS01A. That was LeVar. As you can see, I did him up in blue hair. Versus Chibi Moon. It was an animated banner ad. Oh, this is a picture of a 4-track tape because I hadn't seen one before. So I grabbed a picture of one. Della Reese happens to be this tape. There's another picture of Captain Beefheart. A lot of Captain Beefheart pictures in my hard drive.
You like that guy for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, this is a psychedelic-looking picture of one of our music professors, Dr. Eggert. Photo editing done by Gothard, because he took the picture using a Polaroid land camera, the type that you slide a picture out the side, and he didn't have flash bulbs for it, so it came out blurry. And he was like, well, that sucks. And he's like, wait, I think I can make this work. And so there we go. It's a very psychedelic effect. We loved it. We didn't use it.
Can you zoom in a little bit? Because actually it doesn't look bad. It's kind of nice.
Yeah,
no, it is blurry. Yeah,
it came out blurry, so he did that little effect there to make it work with it. You know, you kind of got the glassy effect going around.
Use with what you got, right?
Yeah. We never showed it to him.
Let me put it this way: is he still alive?
Yeah.
Send it to him from an anonymous email address.
That would. I always told Seth you should have showed it to him. That's up to him to do. Here we go. I played around with adding more effects to it, but that was weird. This is the picture that Tam sent me claiming it was her. This was a total fake. That's not really Tam's. That's just...
She doesn't look like her brother.
No, that's I don't know who that was. Tammy went to see see Niagara Falls and sent me pictures. I don't remember. This was for a rollover. I had to do a rollover on my website project, so I had a smiley face. And when you rolled over it, it turned into a frowny face with a bullet hole in the forehead.
We'll go back to that and zoom it in because it's just basically a yellow dot.
Yeah.
Oh, Sakola. Okay.
This picture must be broken because that block should be up there. But this is a picture of Johnny Gators in the Gatorades at band camp in high school. I'll have to find another copy of that.
The band leader?
It was a skit for skit night.
Oh, skit.
Quad 8 track. Johnny Gators in the Gatorades. Yes.
I think that's a cool name.
This was my logo. Well, that was I used the screen name Kate Tell in a chat room, and they had chat room stats on the page, the Sailor Moon chat room that me and Mars used to hang out in, and so. Oh my God, that has a secret.
How long have you known Mars?
Well, I didn't know him back then. We just were in the same room, and we didn't realize this till he joined the show that he was the same guy that was in that chat room, and we both knew Tams.
I see.
This has a hidden message in it, actually. So we were able to make logos for ourselves. To put in the stat room. So that way, instead of just saying K-Tel said this many sentences, this many words, was joined the room this many times, you could have a little logo there. And so since everyone had their logos, and since I was using the screen name K-Tel, I put this little K-Tel logo together. And me being the clever person I was, I zoomed into it. And I was there was about a 2-week period I was dating a girl online that lived in Texas named Liz. And so I put a little a great I love Liz in there. I don't even remember doing that. I just zoomed in and I immediately knew what that meant because I knew who Liz is.
Yeah, because I couldn't see that before.
No, that was and this logo. This logo would have never been blown up, so no one would have ever saw it on the stats site. So it was a little like hidden message I put in there because I'm such a sap like that.
It's fun. Let's say you've got some electronic device that craps out. You pop out the chips and shave off the things so you can see the actual silicone wafer. And look at those under a microscope, and often you can see hidden messages.
Yeah. This was a banner logo that was used on the page. This doesn't have a hidden message in it. And then I think I used that form of it for a period of time. I made different versions of this. This is just like all my pictures. These are sheet music of Lemon Piper songs. I say pictures off of eBay. Oh, that's the banner ad, but the animation
That's
doesn't
right. You
work
never
in
just
this.
never know when you can decide to turn around and sell the stuff, right?
Oh, there's Liz.
That's the real Liz.
That's the real Liz. Yeah, we met in the chat room. This is more. Is that Liz? That might be Liz too. That's me.
So did you ever meet Liz face to face?
No. We weren't dating long enough for that. It was 2 weeks online dating. This is the picture Gothard took this with his Polaroid land camera. I basically came to him and said, hey, how much money would it cost for the film for one picture? I need to send Liz a picture of me. And so there I am, senior in college, pre-beard.
Zoom in a little bit.
And I had hair. I had hair. That's hair on my head.
That is not you.
That is me.
It is not you.
That is me.
Venison, I wish you were on the video connection, and you could verify that that's him, right?
That's totally me. You could see the face ain't symmetrical. I look like a dork. That's totally me. I think Chris ends up with the original of that picture. There's another picture of Liz. There's Liz again, and that's the uncropped version of that. There's a picture of the label for the quad version of Metal Machine Music by Lou Reed. That's a picture of a Frank Zappa album cover. There's me in the orchestra with a mouthpiece on my mouth.
And blurry.
Yeah, well, my mom took the picture with a digital camera that took 3.5-inch floppies. I don't even know what this is.
How many megapixels?
I don't know. It took 3.5 floppies.
See, I went with smart cards on my first digital camera, and I still have it.
Here's a picture
it's
of
like 2.1 megapixels, and the cool thing about it, it's the perfect camera to use. Hey, those guys are humping.
Yeah, that's Bowser and Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf
getting it on.
Well, this was someone
taking
was
it in.
Someone was in the chat room, in the Sailor Moon chat room, and he just bought a webcam, and so he set it up and took a picture to test it out. He's like, "What should I take a picture to test it out?" We're like, "What do you got around there?" It's like, "Well, I got Papa Smurf and a King Cooper plushie." It's like, "Well, set them up so one's fucking the other." And he takes a picture and goes, "That actually came out kind of funny." Hey, let me see. And here it is. Here's the picture he used to test his webcam. I don't even remember who this guy was.
But it's just a still, right?
Yeah.
There's an actual video, right?
Oh, no, you use webcams to take still
there
pictures.
There actually is the video I saw recently. Oh, no, you can't unsee that.
Oh.
Some guys stopped on the side of the road to watch this is in a desert someplace, and there's two camels going at it on the side of the road. It's like, hey, camels, go get a fucking room.
This is another thing that showed up on eBay that I didn't want to buy but found interesting.
What is it?
It's a page ad for an album that one of my favorite Moog albums.
Zoom in a little bit.
It's an ad for an album called The Plastic Cow Goes Moog. And the premise is it's got like a baby bottle with milk in it with a power cord coming out of it. Put electric milk in your baby's formula. And it's advertising The Plastic Cow Goes Moog.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Here's the cover for The Plastic Cow Goes Moog. You can see the cow's plugged in.
Right.
It goes Moog. Yeah. There's another scan of it. There's
do you actually have any of the music from that?
Oh yeah. That's no problem. We can make that happen right now. I'm pretty sure I got some stuff in this folder. Let's take a look. What we got. Oh, here we go. No, here we go.
Hey, it's Hall & Oates.
It's all pretty much. It's a fun album. Get a little cover of Born to Be Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of interesting stuff on it. Let's see what else it's got.
Tubular Bells.
No, it's
by Steppenwolf.
Lay Lady Lay. Let's see what other pictures we got here. Here's Steely Dan quad 8-track tape. Lou Reed, Metal Machine Music 8-track. Oh, there's the smiley face that doesn't have the bullet in the head. And there's a Stockhausen Gesang de Younglinge reel-to-reel that was being sold on eBay. Oh, the
Deutsche
Sugar Bear.
Grammophon?
Yeah. Oh, there's some more porn.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I got pictures of Tamsin here.
That's really her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, her I actually met. Let me just get this to open in the right app. I don't even remember. Yeah,
so did Mars actually meet her too?
I don't know if Mars met her. Oh, there she is as a kid with her brother. There.
Doesn't look like her brother Gollum.
There she is with the guy that she could never get over, Harold. And there she is with her sister's kids. There's the young her. There she is with bunny ears. Yeah, if you send me a picture, I will save it forever. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here's some high school pictures. Why are these still not opening in the right app? You know what? Whatever. These pictures suck anyways.
Well, it is 7:01 now, so just as the reminder.
Yeah. So I think it's time. It's time to.
You too get tuned in and see pictures on the radio.
And I actually had topics to discuss, and I discussed them, but we didn't really. I thought the whole Jenny Cam and her being a pioneer would branch off into other topics, and then it just turned into backups from somewhere. I probably got some Jenny Cam pictures.
Well, but you were talking about Real Player, and that kind of is in the same area. So.
Yeah.
But then you kind of got into the weeds.
Well, then I didn't even mention that. What is it? Ian Lee did like an interview with Keith and the Girl recently, and when's the last time we heard of them? Apparently, they still exist.
And I couldn't get it worded edgewise, too.
We asked you several times.
Webcam type stuff.
Okay, you
haven't seen.
Okay, how many webcams does it take to fit your dick into one frame?
Oh man. Oh man.
I had this one viewer that would show like about 20 or 30 webcams and would cycle through all of them. And take about 15 seconds for each. And these were live webcams. One of them turned out to got a fascinating photo, which I saved. I screenshotted it and saved. It was this mountain peak, that they were looking at. And one time, let's switch over, see a mountain peak, cycle through, you see the mountain peak again, but cycle through another time, and I got this round, looked like a cloud. It's almost like, that's odd looking. It's just a circular cloud. Well, it looked like a cloud. And then when it cycled around again, it was gone. I think I captured a UFO on a webcam.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you still have it?
Yep. Yeah, I got it in here somewhere.
Well, just hold it up to your computer, and it'll be as good as me showing my pictures off to the radio.
Tweet it out to us.
Yeah, tweet it out to us. There we go. I'm not going to tweet these pictures, though. I don't think any of my pictures are tweet-worthy. And I'm so disappointed Holly didn't call.
Oh, well.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, but she's in the UK, so...
I gave her a heads up.
Well, but she probably has to work, right?
Well, it's only like 3 a.m. there.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Yeah. And we started the show at about 1 a.m.
Well,
but she probably has to work tomorrow.
You could have stayed up to 1 for us. I mean, I'm interested.
But she probably has to work. If we had a Friday show, maybe she would be here.
All right. Maybe we'll do a show on Friday for her to call into. I'm sure that's what it is.
Because the other show is Sunday, right?
Sunday, yes, the Dune and Bob show.
Bob. So check in the Dune and Bob show Sunday night.
Maybe we can get her to call into the Dune and Bob show.
But then again, Monday morning is another work day.
Yeah, but we're on, earlier on the Dune and Bob show.
Oh, that's true. Right.
Except I got to watch out for my friend Bob Dune, because he likes to make funny voices.
Maybe she likes funny voices too.
This might work out. Hey, you like our new closing music? I decided we should have Pink Floyd do our closing music from now on.
Oh, okay.
Or did you prefer Chuck?
What song is that for Pink Floyd?
In the Beachwoods.
What album?
It was on their early years box set that came out last year because it was an unfinished song that was a potential follow-up for See Emily Play, but they never finished it. Hence, it's only instrumental. So I figured.
So this is an extra that they threw on the disc because. Hey, because, the people that follow them, want to hear crap.
Well, no, this was a huge box set that basically gathered all the odds and ends and things from their early years.
Right.
And it's if you love early Pink Floyd, it's great. And so this was one of the things.
Floor sweepings.
Well, I think this is better than a floor sweeping. I mean, yeah, it's not finished. It doesn't have vocals on it, but it is an interesting riff that they're jamming out on. I think it sounds good. And
Never heard.
Well, yeah, fans knew of it, and a really low quality recording of it leaked out at some point that was trading around the bootleg circuit. But it was someone interviewed Nick Mason with a handheld tape recorder, and while interviewing him, he pulled out some tapes to play for him, and this song was one of the tapes he pulled out and played during the interview. So what traded around in bootlegs was this tape being played that was picked up by a handheld tape recorder while interviewing Nick Mason.
Yeah, that sounds real good.
Yeah, so it was great to finally last year the actual thing gets released.
Much higher quality.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great. And they finally officially released Vegetable Man and Scream Thy Last Scream, which had only been around the bootleg circuits for quite some time. Of course, I looped this to last a half hour because we never close in a 5-minute time frame. So I had to make a half-hour long extended version of this song.
Right.
So hopefully we'll never hit the end of it. Although every time I make a loop that I think is long enough, it never is.
Okay, so what did we learn today?
Well, I learned that I don't have as much to say about Jenny Cam as I thought I did. And I learned that the episode where she had a guy on to sing a song about pooping his pants is lost to the ages.
That's probably a video you can't unsee.
It was just a guy playing the guitar, singing the song. Lyrics had something to do with pooping his pants. I wish I could find it because it was kind of silly. What did you learn?
Like Smelly Cat?
Smelly Cat. No, he had more talent than that. But what did you learn, Brian?
I already forget.
Nothing then.
No, there was something, and I just completely forgot what we were talking about. That's cool. Anyway, I did learn something.
Octophonic music?
Yeah. That was cool. Octocon is cool.
Octotonic. Yes.
Spit it out.
Next time you're jamming with your musician friends, you just say, "Hey, let's play this in octotonic."
Right.
See if anyone goes, yeah, I know what that means.
Octatonic or octophonic?
No, it's octatonic. Octophonic would mean 8 speakers. Octatonic means basically you get 8 notes in the scale by going, alternate between half step and whole step.
All right.
What about you, Venison? What have you learned?
Well, I've learned that even in your early days of searching of porn, there was always Jen McCann.
Yeah, there was. Oh, man, I would have loved to have hung out with her back in the day. Because she would actually hang out with people if, you talked to her and you were cool. But I was never forward enough to suggest that, even though, I don't think she's in Pennsylvania anymore by the time I was talking to her or trying to talk to her or hanging out in that chat room, she was in Washington, D.C. So I wasn't
and
exactly...
you still had a thing about fucking a girl.
Yeah.
As in chicken shit.
Hey, whatever. Things worked out now. Now I can't keep the girls away.
Uh-huh.
But on that note, thank you again for listening. And be sure to check out all our other great shows here on nh3radio.com. Tomorrow, Vamp goes on. Vamp's show is absolute genius because, you see, the three of us, we try to pay attention to each other, and we kind of are on the same topics. Vamp and Kevin, they're having 2 independent conversations with themselves that might every now and then cross paths. And it's great because on the one hand, you got Vamp over here talking about some techie shit, and you got Kevin who just found some boobies on the internet and is just making words that rhyme with something that Vamp says that sounds fancy at the same time. And he got the techno music in the background. And maybe I'll call in. And then, that just adds to it. It's great fun for all, so check it out. And, of course, we got the Dune and Bob show on Sundays. We got the Outlaw Radio people on Saturdays. And Friday is Warhawk, Derailment Radio. And I kind of went backwards there, but hey, whatever. It's all on the site. Check it out. And thank you for listening. Good night.
I'm going to go back to watch Super Talk. Damn, I got 40 more episodes of that to go through.